if y'all are ready. Yep. Okay. Ryan, you want to start?
Yeah, just wanted to start off looking toward Friday's game, getting a chance to play at Hall of Fame Stadium again, as we were talking about as y'all walked in. What is that environment going to be like? What's it like going back there after you've won a championship for you? And how important can this be for the sort of forward momentum of this team?
Yeah, it's always really fun playing at the Hall of Fame Stadium. I think we're actually really lucky that we get to play there before the College World Series. Just getting to feel the field out, really get to feel the fans. There's a lot more fans there. But yeah, I'm super excited to play at Hall of Fame.
I think it's huge for the younger girls, just playing in that type of environment, being able to experience that type of crowd and use that later when we go there again.
What do you remember about your first time pitching?
It was nerve-wracking, I remember, but I think you kind of have to use the crowd to your advantage. You have to realize that they're cheering maybe for the other team, but in a way they're cheering for you too. So they're just
now they're
softball.
Gonna be on your side.
They're just
now.
softball fans.
Now you'll have a lot more fans on your side this go around.
Yeah.
So it'll be good for you.
Kelly, what have you seen from not just, you've talked about how comfortable you've gotten as you've entered conference play, but like Kirsten, as she's continued to get more, not just confident, but comfortable as you're just preparing for one opponent each weekend?
That's awesome for her. I love seeing her go out there and just get better each and every time she takes the mound. She's such hardworking individual in the bullpen, Coach Rocha. She's maximizing on every opportunity she's given, so I'm just really proud of her.
Jayda, can you feel like when you're behind her, her confidence, like her presence in the circle kind of growing as this year has moved on or progressed?
Yeah, 1,000%. Katie has a little sass to her that I really, really like. That's what I love about all of our pitchers. They all have a different vibe and a different tone, a different rhythm to them. So it's really fun getting to see Katie find hers. I know last year she was kind of trying to find her rhythm, her tone, her personality type thing, but I think she's really getting it now. And it's more comfortable for the defense to know, she wants us to talk to her. She wants us to encourage her, those type of things. So getting to see her get more comfortable with who she wants to be and what kind of pitcher she wants to be is really good to see.
And then, Kelly, for you, as like Ryan said, you talked about that comfort level that's sort of built over the last few weeks. But what do you feel like's been the key to that? And do you feel like you've taken steps forward, even with your performances last week?
I've been feeling like I'm really freed up, just not having really any thought in my mind, just really keeping it team oriented, rather than worrying, about yourself and stats and expectations. And so just being able to feel free and rely on my preparation through the physical side, mental, tactical. So just really relying on that.
Kelly, you guys as a pitching staff last weekend, Texas Tech was averaging I think over 7 runs a game, a really explosive offense. You guys collectively held them to, they barely scored. Just maybe how important is cohesion in a pitching staff, and how big was that for you guys collectively to limit them like that?
I mean, I think we talk a lot on this pitching staff about our roles and really being ready in any opportunity that you're given to maximize that opportunity. So just knowing your role and knowing what you bring to this pitching staff really, I think, brings us all together.
How much does maybe knowing that role, how much does it fluctuate throughout the season? Can it change, or do you find a way to get settled in, pretty early? What is that process
I think it can
like?
change anytime. I mean, we have 6 pitchers that all 6 of them can be really great, and I think, when one's not going good, we have 5 others that can pick you up, and just knowing that we have each other's back in those types of situations.
Jayda, it seemed like the first month or so we had some highs, not like lows, but you didn't feel like yourselves. Mm-hmm. Was there a moment or something you can point toward and say that's when it changed for us? Now we're back to where we need to be.
Yeah, I mean that happens every year. It's really hard to get in your groove when you're playing 5 different teams, I feel like. So those first 3 tournaments are always kind of brutal, but honestly, probably around when we lost our first game, probably that next practice you can see like an energy kind of switch towards our team. And we usually have that every year. There's a point in the season where we're like, okay, now we know how it's supposed to feel. Like, this is what it's supposed to feel like every day at practice. And when we come to the games, it should show up. So I would say probably somewhere around our first loss practice.
And Jayda, I know you've been really good defensively for really since you've been here, but how do you feel like this defense, I don't know about compares, but has performed so far, and where do you feel like it can go?
I think we've done really, really good. Something I do want to say about the pitching staff, I feel like a lot of people don't see the pitching staff as like almost like a lineup. I kind of view it that way. I love how much they like kind of pass the bat, kind of in the sense, or pass the baton. They're working as a team. So when you feel like your pitchers are on it, I feel like it makes your defense more confident. Anytime anyone's up pitching and I'm in center field, I don't want to let any ball drop. I don't want to let any ball go over the fence. So just having that chemistry between the pitchers and the defenders, I think, is super important.
Jayda, until you are allowed to practice on Loves, how important is a day like tomorrow, again, just to get a feel, or do you think you have the feel of it yet?
I think we have the feel of it, but it doesn't feel like our home. I think Coach made a really good analogy. It's like when you buy a new home. I have not bought a new home, but I would assume that it feels like, okay, this is like my new home, but like you kind of had to get used to it a little bit, and those first like couple months are gonna feel a little weird that you're in your new home type thing. And I feel like that's where we're at. It's our new home that we kind of just moved into, but we're not fully comfortable in, I guess. But yeah, like you said, every game I think is a new opportunity for us to make it home. And we're the only team that's played in there like most of the time. But I think hopefully after Baylor we'll feel really settled. When we're able to practice over there every day, I feel like we'll feel super settled in there.
Yeah, kind of to that point, how interesting maybe has it been kind of going back and forth or, practicing and all that kind of stuff? Can you simulate anything from over here? What's that process like?
I mean, it's a little odd because even when you go, like when we go and play in Lubbock, we go and play on their field the night before just so you can get a feel of it. And it's weird that we don't really get to do that in our own field because I know Coach wants us to go over there. She wants us to practice over there, but I know they're finishing stuff up. But I think that's why the PPG and the PG, like the pregame and stuff, is very important for us to really feel how the field's going to feel.
What kind of confidence just as an entire offense top to bottom? Because it's not just like Sydney and what she's done or TRA or 12 RBI week. Like everyone produced in Lubbock, and it feels like that energy in the dugout's like translating top to bottom.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think when we're having the most fun is when we're scoring the most amount of runs. When we're just playing free, when we're taking walks. I think walks are a big deal, and I'm sure Kelly would say the same thing. But when we get 2 or 3 walks and then Tiara hits a grand slam, like you're already up 4-0 right there. So like she was kind of saying, just kind of knowing your role. Like I feel like I don't have to always get the big hit. I can take a walk, and I know Ella Parker or Cassie Pickering is going to pick me up and get a base hit, or they'll also get a walk. So just knowing our roles and being able to pass the bat, and I think for us, it's never stopping. Like if we get 4 runs, we're done. We're not going to stop there. We're going to push as far as we can go. One inning was 12, and that was great. And I think JT was really happy with that inning. But now we got to be like, okay, 12 in the first inning. Now how many can we score in the second? And don't just stop at 1 or 2. Keep pushing and get as much at-bats as you can.
What was that like, being a part of that first inning on Saturday?
It was immaculate. I don't even really what did I do? I think I think I hit a ground ball up the middle to start it, and I walked the next at bat, and it was crazy because I had walked and there were still no outs, and I was like, that's pretty cool. But I want to say someone was the first and the third out. I think it was Sid, because she was like, I was the first and third out of the same inning. Like, but I was like, that's a really good problem to have. Because she did really, really good the weekend before. I'm like, can't get them all, But, yeah, that was a fun inning.
She upset she couldn't get the 5th walk on Friday, Sydney?
Oh, did she have 4 walks? See, I take a walk. I'd rather walk than get out. So that's just me. You got to know your role.
Anything else? All right.